Hello, peeps. Good day. It's a beautiful day. And today, I would like us to look at something that is so important, and it deals with how we should start activating our cerebral cortex. That's the thinking part of the brain. We should start asking questions and seeking answers. And if a man really want to grow and evolve, he should use his brains. He should ask questions. As opposed to the way we've been brought up in society, by religion and stuff like that, that we should not ask questions. We should just take things like that. We should just believe things, even without proof. We should just take them and believe. And which is the way majority of us have been living our lives. This is very, very dangerous. I want to spur you up, and I want to cheer you up that it's time you start asking questions. It's time you start questioning your beliefs, your belief systems, all those things you've been engaging in. And it's time to start living consciously, to start living life consciously. It's high time. And now I'm going to be starting, with triggers. I'm going to be going on with a lot of triggers, questions we should be asking, and I implore you that let this video just be a stepping stone for you to start looking deep into things, start asking questions. And as you ask questions, the universe will surely give you answers. It is a seek and you shall find. But the good thing about it, we don't even need to seek anything, because all the answers to life questions are already within us, but we need to wake that part of us up, and we need to start asking some questions fundamentally. Right now, let me start like this. Have you ever asked yourself, who am I? Who are you? Have you ever asked yourself? Have you ever asked, why is it so hard to be my God self? That thing I'm really supposed to be, the real part of me. Have you ever asked, why is it hard to be that? Have you ever looked out your window and wondered, why is there something and why nothing? Have you ever pondered, where did I come from? How did I get here? And where am I going to? Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever wondered if God is a male? A male figure has always been referred to and has always been represented by religions. Ask questions. Have you ever wondered if God is white with a pointed nose, and that long hair has always been depicted? Have you ever asked? Have you ever asked if religions are based on love? And why have they started all the slavery, genocide, Holocaust, and worse? Have you ever asked? Have you ever asked, why am I so afraid of death? What do I know about death? Why am I so afraid of it? Why is the seeking of happiness called sin? Have you ever questioned why a baby born from the loving sexual intimacy of a man and a woman is considered born in sin? Have you ever asked why you are born in sin? Why is the love and kindness expressed through sexual intimacy a sin? Why killing the enemy in a religious war pleases God? Think about that. Ask questions. Have you ever asked why a woman who takes money for sex is called a whore, and the preacher who takes money for lying is called a saint? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered if Christ will be disappointed to discover how many millions of heretics the Christians have killed in his name? And if Muhammad too will be disappointed to discover how many millions of infidels the Muslims have killed in his name? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered which one of the true religions, which one of the true churches should you attend, and which one of the true religions should you belong? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why man chooses sides, declares one side the enemy, and kills them all? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why religious freedom gives religions the freedom to direct, control, and insinuate their dogmas into every facet of your personal life without being held accountable for what they say, do, or teach? Have you ever pondered why religions and politics have been organized to create conflicts, between good and evil forces, then create their own definitions of what is good and of what is evil. Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why religions and politics split issues into good and evil, create winners and losers, and they'll call themselves righteous leaders while they actually provoke hatred? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why religions, politics, and the media do daily battle for the control of the minds of humanity? Have you ever wondered why religions, especially the Christian religion, still contend with what they call sin and endlessly pray for forgiveness of their sins after claiming Jesus died for their sins and washed it away since 2000 years ago? Have you ever asked? And you keep doing that same thing all your life. Okay. Have you ever wondered why man still toil, sweat, and suffer, and woman still labor in pain after they claim that Jesus had rectified and paid the price of that Adamic error? Should it not have been such that the curse would wipe out automatically after the price paying, since it also came in automatically by the error? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why you must keep praying and repeating the same prayer and fast endlessly all the days of your life for your prayers to be answered by an assumed loving God? I mean, you can imagine that by an assumed loving God that is said to listen to his children. Think about it. As humans, does it take you eternity and endless punishment of constant self-denial to grant your own children their requests? Then how much more God? Ask yourself. Have you ever wondered why an unconditional loving creator referred to in the Bible and other books would hate some and love some, just like he hated Esau and loved Jacob even before birth? Could you do this as a human? Don't you think that this could be one of the root cause of depression and suicide for many that are not sure of the God, of the love of their God, a God that loves some and hates some? Think about it. Have you ever wondered why an unconditional loving creator would proclaim that he shall have mercy on whom he will show mercy, and leave the rest of his creation to wallow and squander? And don't you think this also could be one of the root causes of depression and suicide for some who had concluded if they will ever experience the mercy of a partial God, a God that shows mercy on some and decides to bone some? Have you ever wondered why the biblical God that is portrayed as the unconditional, loving, universal, supreme God would command slavery? The worst genocide and holocaust in the history of mankind. Children slain, human sacrifices and rituals, sexism, rape, and so on in the Bible? Have you ever wondered why the masses of humanity must wait to get to heaven, for their own reward, while the political leaders, religious leaders, and all the GOs get their own reward on earth? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why your religious leaders are heavily guarded by armed security men and bulletproof vehicles, while they sell you Jesus, they sell you stickers and garments as your own protection, and while you are the one that will even market all this merchandise? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why your religious leaders come to you when they need money and ask you to fast and pray to Jesus when you need money or help? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why your children are not given top priorities and admission into their expensive schools after donating a chunk of your money through tithes and offerings to establish these schools? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why these churches cannot create free education and free health systems, at least for their members only, instead of acquiring perishable toys, private jets, and estates with taxpayers' money, just like their political cronies are doing with taxpayers' money? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why a religious Nigeria and Africa is getting worse by the day with all the endless prayers, vigils, with no hope in sight, while non-religious nations are super prospering? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why our political appointed leaders are still very corrupt and defaulting? After being sworn in with the Bible or Quran, instead of swearing them in with our own African deities, which grants instant justice and results. Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why same religions are so divided amongst themselves and hate the other denominations passionately? If you belong to this, you can't go there. I can't marry from there. You can only marry from here. And all of this. And while they preach love and they preach one God, have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why the most religious followers of Jesus and Muhammad have been proven to be despicably dishonest and deceitful? Have you ever asked? Check around you. Have you ever wondered how come you don't know your father's, your mother's name, your ancestors' lineage, and your history? You don't know. But you know the ones of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Israel, and all the so-called saints that you have no connection with. Has it ever crossed your mind that most of these saints that you worship are plunderers and killers? Have you ever found out? Have you ever asked questions? Have you ever wondered why the Caucasians came to plunder, kill, and destroy you and your history using their Bible and Quran as the ultimate weapon? That's the Caucasians and the Arabs, came to plunder, destroy, enslave us using their Bible and Quran as the ultimate weapon. Have you ever wondered what the politics of Constantine was when he gathered the academias, the bishops, and the geos of his time to form and orchestrate a tool of control called the Bible? Have you ever studied and probed the history behind your religion? Have you ever thought that all religions and books are man-made, and anything man-made is absolutely flawed? Have you ever wondered if heaven and hell are real geographical locations as claimed by religions? Have you ever wondered if the world started 6,000 years ago as claimed by some religious books, with the mythological Adam and Eve as the first humans? Have you ever wondered if there is a judgment day where all shall stand with their hands behind their back, having to answer according to their names, being called out from a register? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered if the less than 1,000-year-old Bible and other religious books will be the reference point to judge humans who had existed millions and billions of years before these books ever existed? Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered if God really inspired all these books, or if they came down from heaven as some claimed? Then why did God did that late? Why did he send those books late and did not consider those who had existed ever since? Have you ever wondered if the unconditional love of the Creator would actually cast some people into eternal damnation? Have you ever wondered if you could cast your own autistic or homosexual child into a burning hellfire forever? Have you ever wondered why two of the slave ships used to steal and transport African ancestors as slaves are called Jesus and the other called John the Baptist? Have you ever asked? Have you ever heard about that? Those who came to batter, kill, genocided, rape, plunder, and enslaved us. Those with sex abuse cases and series of allegations, investigations, trials, and convictions of child sexual abuse crimes committed against children as young as 3 years. As 3 years old, with the majority between the ages of 11 and 14, are the same people who orchestrated your so-called religion and your so-called Bible and Quran. Have you ever asked? Have you ever wondered why one of the popes of the Catholic Church, which is the institution which orchestrated Christianity, Pope Leo X, in 1514 called the Christ story a fable and a superstition? Have you ever seen that? Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever asked, what if all these religious stories are lies? and never existed. Have you ever thought, what if you are soul and a fragment of God itself? What if you are divine and have all the life answers within you? Have you ever asked? Have you ever pondered, what if God is contacted from within? Have you ever asked yourself that you should know that from within the God self? Have you ever, has it ever crossed your mind? Okay, I could go on and on and on and on, cause there are over 1 million things to wonder about in this world where we were never given a chance to think for ourselves, a world where we were never allowed to depend on our intuition, and we were never allowed to depend on the God within, a world where we were indoctrinated from birth and we're just told to have faith and just believe in doctrines. And without knowing anything, we're just told to believe in doctrines, in religion, a world which has killed our individuality and made us slaves to a reprogrammed mind, to the social and psychological process, to religious books, doctrines and beliefs, and to the opinion of others. A world that told us we can never know anything, and that we can never know, and that everything is shrouded in mystery. But today, I'm challenging you to get out of this cage of limitation, this box of limitation and slavery, and start asking questions. Start charting your own course, start charting your own pathway to the divine dimension within you. I promise you, there's nothing to fear. There's no hell, there's no fire, there's nothing. The only hell that exists is that of not knowing yourself, that of not knowing your God self, your soul, which counts at the end of the day. That's the only hell that exists. And that's why you should start doing something about that now and discard all of these belief systems that have been put into our mind from birth. Now, go ahead, find yourself and find your God. Find freedom. You can only find bliss and ecstasy and nothing less. Thanks for being there. For more information, please, and more of such videos, please just don't hesitate to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being there once again. Thanks, peace, love, and ecstasy. Bye.